We can't afford a school, though. So let's go ahead and get an elementary school going on here. We will also want a high school, which we can technically afford. Maybe we'll get that down right away. Like so. Complaining about power over here, but that's just because they built in a dumb order. Well, I guess that's my commercial area, which is why they built right away, because there was actual demand for it. Let's build a temporary little power line from there to there. Oh, hold on. Things have expanded enough that the power situation is now fixed. You can hear lots of upgrades happening. We haven't even parked up this area yet, and we're going to want to do that soon. This little area in the middle, can I expand into it? Oh, I can actually, quite happily. Let's get a bit of a curvy road going on. Like so. Like that, and you know what? I think this would be a swell place for parks. So, as I said, I've got a few extra parks in here. We've got four. Oh, this is a parking lot. So I've got 3 variants of a parking lot with some fencing. Oh yeah, you can't get a preview here either. And this would be a terrible place to put it. It's a great place when you've got like a nice contiguous block, because you can put them down as a big set together. This is a small community pool, which I like the idea of. It's got a big, relatively big radius. And I mean, what's nice about it is very space efficient. It's a little bit expensive. Right, it's 1,000 put down, only 1.6 per week, which isn't actually that bad. Okay, it's actually relatively cheap for its range. It might not, like, you know, have a massive influence, but it's pretty good. We'll put a little plaza with trees. It'd be nice to avoid bulldozing too many buildings. I don't think we'll have to go there. And what else are we going to want? Plaza with picnic tables. That's fine. Eliminate some houses from near an intersection, which might be good. And maybe a nice big park. Or a small playground. I like that. Again, we'll build it near these intersections. What's it already occupied by? Will it really not have the space? There, we'll put it in here. That should bring up the housing level in most of these places. Very nicely. Okay. Now, we have very few parks in our city proper, so we're going to want to do that. And in particular, I like the idea of plazas, I think, just for the theme of this town. Actually, most of these plazas with picnic tables. I want people to be able to eat outside and feel good about themselves. We'll put one... Oh, not enough money. Whoa, did they cost 15,000? Okay. Why is the plaza with picnic tables so much more expensive than everything else? Maybe it's got a really big range. Hey, Dorson, thanks for the sub. There we go. I mean, we've been doing this slowly. But now is probably the time. Can we get one of those, like, nice big parks? Which one I really like? Is it this one here? Oh, no, that's... Oh, Simple Tiny Park. That is a new one, but it's got an actual working... It's just a 2x2 square, which is awesome. Here we go. A little bit more of a sizable park. Is it easier to fit on the other side? Yeah. There we go. I like the parks. Malicious Technology! Hey, thanks for the sub. Also, thanks for the tip, the donation earlier. Appreciate that. Get those land values up. So now we're going to get some pretty crazy growth. I keep going in phases, you know, sort of beautification and this. Now, I realize that I don't really spend much time necessarily making the city truly look, you know, visually pretty. It's, you know, it's a little boring and squarish, but, you know, that's the way it goes. Sorry, I'm not better at it. Incinerator. So we've got lots of incinerator capacity, and we've got them spread around town relatively well. Big extra amounts over here. A little bit over here. There might be a bit of a gap. We might want to tuck in an incinerator, like, right off the coast here. Like, build a road out just basically for the incinerator and try not to cover too many other buildings. What if we made I mean, I know it's not a true roundabout. And I'm still not convinced... again, either it's that I'm not using them right or there's something else going on. I'm not convinced that the roundabouts are the key to victory in Skylines currently. We could do something like that. Again, it's not a true roundabout. And in fact, this intersection here, combined with that intersection, might lead to some poor traffic patterns. But it looks interesting. Now, I was thinking, if we've got a curve here, we can keep going with the curve motif. The downside is, if I get more, like, if I go back to my 2-lane roads, then a lot of people will be using these roads for things, which may or may not be a good idea. I could just stick with the 6 lanes if I'm going to connect all the way over there. Or I could, you know, not connect. I could stop short. What I could do is I could pull the 6 lane off this way, and then just build housing and whatnot, like neighborhoods off of there. So the only people going in this direction will be that sort of local traffic. And I could connect it up over here. Actually, it might be a good idea. I could use the actual arc tool, but let's not. Let's go ahead, use the 6 lane. I got enough money to hopefully build something. And get a 6-lane arc like that. You know, it's going to be an area that's going to see a lot of traffic regardless, and it might be a good idea to spread it out. There you go. Sort of set a tone that way. Let the city keep running for a little while. We just put down a bunch of parks. There's going to be some traffic adjustments. Let's wait to see how that comes in. Still complaining about workers here a little bit. I think we're going to want to continue. Now, a lot of this, again, this is fertile land, so we're going to maybe want to save this for more agriculture. I think we actually genuinely need... No, we're good on power. We're just not connected here anymore. Let's fill the area with a park, which will probably allow the power to jump. I mean, we're going to want to park here anyway, so let's go ahead and do that and save ourselves some ugly power lines that we don't care about. Okay, now I don't know if I built the hospital. I didn't build the fire or police coverage over here, which obviously we also need. So I should actually save up to make sure, because I want to build the big station. I'll have to build it on the outside of the loop, I suppose. There we go. Fire. Good, decent coverage. We'll want to do the same thing with police once we've got the money for it. How's the chat? Need to start university. I have a university. I love when people are like, and the face is like, oh my god! We have a university, man. Look at this. We have a capacity of 4,500. We only have 1,500 students. We got a university. We're good. People aren't necessarily getting themselves schooled too quickly. But we got it. Nothing to freak out about. Let's save up for our police headquarters. Alright, I'm officially putting in a ban. That is me, that is not one of my mods. I'm just seeing, like, too much... You're too much work. I'm sorry. You're too much work to fix. Ah! All of a sudden I'm a little happier. Yes, I'm a tyrant. Anyone who's ever watched any of my videos should know that. Quill the Tyrant. Now, we might actually be able to improve things by making the 6 lanes instead of these avenues. These 4-lane avenues, which looks so pretty with the trees like this. But I'm not sure if it'll actually add to the traffic capacity. It might not help at all. But the nice thing about going from a 4 to a 3 is it doesn't take up any extra space. So we don't have to worry about rezoning or doing anything like that. A little bit of complaints. Yes, I realize it's not quite as pretty. Deal with it, citizens. Didn't I just put in a speech about how I'm a tyrant? Bum 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 bum. Are we what? We have power. Oh! We have no power. Like, I guess we just had a sudden burst of growth, maybe too many upgrades? Because we just lost like crap. Oh! Nope, that's why. we just have a fire. That's all. Just a wee fire. We have no fire services in this area of town at all, so it actually sounds like a great idea for us to build a big fire station over there. Now, certainly a fire truck should have been dispatched over here. We probably just have to wait, but it's probably having to make its way from the other end of town. Now, luckily, these guys, because they're closer, actually still have power. So that fire station should be lit up, but I'm sure there's already a fire truck on the way. Harumaro says, Quill, please help. All my cities have traffic, garbage problems, and it's not traffic, and I have full coverage. Any ideas? Well, garbage problems, again, usually it is traffic. Make sure your landfills aren't full. You can see here, currently, the one landfill I've got is full. I'm actually going to empty it. We're going to use all incinerators. And that would be one of the things to keep an eye on. I'll go ahead and build a second incinerator here, too. Just to keep the garbage trucks flowing. But yeah, if the garbage problems, usually is that. Sometimes it's just long distances. Like the garbage trucks might be getting full before they reach some of your buildings that have problems. Alright, so we don't have fire anymore. Power is now okay. We don't have unlimited power. We could potentially start building some like oil and coal over here, because why not? The deliveries should actually arrive by the cargo harbor, which will be pretty handy. Water! Okay, we legitimately need more water. Let's get that going there. And we'll build another water treatment plant here with the expectation that at some point we will go full water treatment as opposed to dumping raw sewage. We do have room for one more over here. Let's go ahead and do that then. Both should have plenty now. Indeed. Actually, we might need a bit more water availability. Looks like that we run out of that first, so let's go ahead and do that. Try to keep them a little bit more balanced. There we are. Good stuff. Bit of traffic over here. Now, it might be because people are using this to get to there, which might mean a road upgrade here might be called for. Sometimes it's people pulling in and out of these farms that's actually the issue. We could get rid of the farms. I don't really want to do that. We could provide another shortcut. Speaking of garbage, we've got some over here, which probably has a little bit to do with some of the distance these garbage trucks have to go. But again, I'm going to try to keep them out of the way of my rest of my city. So I'm just going to put another one here. Even though it is very far, there's a lot of travel times, but ultimately everything should get serviced. Push comes to shove, I can put an incinerator right over here, which should be okay. Let's check the pollution stats, make sure we're not drinking in polluted water. Nope. Ground pollution, 17%, but it's, you know, all over here. Bit of a worker whine still. I think we still just need more housing. Oh, I was going to save up, which I have now, for a police station at this end of town. Like so. Elementary school coverage. Okay, our capacity is not quite sufficient in general. Let's go ahead and build one over there. And yeah, the coverage is also weak. Maybe this way. Again, being one way is the coverage is a little lopsided. That's okay. High school, we need a little bit more high school as well. I think I'm going to build a residential area over here. So let's go ahead and start zoning some of that out. A little more. Let's make sure that gets covered. So, from here, I think I can probably switch to the 2 lanes, and that's going to be fine. Although, I'm tempted. Maybe I'll go ahead and build another spine out of the 3 lane. Or 6 lane, I should say. That goes kind of that way. And then we'll come off from there. And I'll use the pretty little tree-lined roads. Now, do I want to make them curved or straight? Obviously, straight will allow a lot more capacity. But it might be good if we kept up following sort of natural curvature over here. I think, yeah, we can be a little closer than that. That's a little too close. No, that's just right. It's like the Goldilocks principle. How come the space... Oh, yeah, because I didn't use an actual arc, so the spacing is going to vary a little. That's all right. Like that. And mostly... I mean, I realize there's commercial desire, so I guess we'll put down some of that first. But mostly I want lots of residential. And I'll put a low-density commercial within here. So it's not quite as noisy, and it won't bother my houses in the same way. But then we're going to go high-density residential. Boom! Like that. So yes, I now think I was talking about we're going to need another high school, and I want to put it here, basically. Like that. We still don't quite have the capacity, technically, for a high school, so why don't we put one down in this neighborhood? Over there. Elementary, we could use a little bit more of that, too. We may as well build a little elementary coverage in here as well. And university, our coverage isn't great, but our capacity is huge. We probably will want one here. I don't know if I want to build it yet. Really great if we could sort of build one here, but the curve isn't really going to let us. This feels a little odd and out of place. You know, maybe here. That would look kind of cool. There we go. On the basis that it looks cool, we will put a university there. It's got water coverage. Some of the power won't kick in quite yet. We can speed things along by getting ready to place some parks. We could even use like some of these tiny ones. I want more pools. Yeah, I want a small community pool. Where do I want it? Next to the school. There we go. Tuck it in right there. I like that. And then some more conventional parks. Large playgrounds. Playgrounds are good. Sort of there. And another one on the other side. And then we'll figure out what kind of coverage we need from there. Power is mostly going to be there. University is not quite covered, but it will grow. If I'm really concerned, I could put the tiniest little park, whatever it was called. This one here. Simple, tiny park. Just like, one tile! Boom. That's a do for power. Actually does a pretty good job. What's the price on that thing? $1,000 to put down. Cheap to maintain. What kind of capacity? Some of these, I think, in fact, it may be this one. Some of them have, like, not even any capacity for visitors. They just look kind of cool. Got a little statue in there. How lovely is that? So I just went on Steam and I just, like, bulk grabbed things. I got, like, 100 different things selected. I don't know what the best way to share that is. I don't know if you can check to see on someone's profile what they're subscribed to. Probably not. And it's going to change all the time. Community Pool is not a mod. It's just an extra asset. I mean, it sort of is. It's downloaded from the workshop. It's not a mod in that it doesn't change gameplay, really, but it is an extra building. You got these different categories. You got maps, buildings, like, and other assets like that, and then actual mods. So I do have some actual mods loaded, like the ability to buy all 25 tiles, and the auto bulldozing tool, which is kind of nifty. You know what I want a mod for? No more seagulls. Or muting them. Apparently, sound is not currently really moddable. Okay, I think what we need... Are you empty yet? Not yet. We're going to need, like, more direct garbage access, to the point where I'm wondering about building a road that goes here. I don't know if that's going to be really horrible for traffic or not. Do I want a triple road? Well, actually, I was already talking about maybe extending this triple road all the way through town. Especially here, you can see this is completely full. I think we're going to have to do that. Unfortunately, it's going to mean displacing a lot of buildings, which I'm kind of unhappy with. But I think we're going to have to accept that we need a major 6-lane road that goes straight through town. Oh, that's already occupied by a building, which we will have to move. And yeah, there's going to have to be some rezoning going on. So that's the university, which we will just have to... Oh, it's going to be hard to fit in. There we go. We'll move it to here. A lot of buildings being replaced here. Population is going to flip quite quickly. And this was low density commercial over here. You can see we've been left with sort of wonky zonage. See, this commercial or this residential zone here actually belongs to the squares on the left-hand side there. Oops, and here too, you can see these little spits of residential in here. Lord Zerosophos, thanks for the sub. Do. Do that. Now that's actually a high-density residential building, so I'll go and do that. Might resize itself. We'll see. And then we got some extra little wonky bits. Wonky all over the place. All right, it's not a big deal though. Not everything has to be occupied. Green spaces are still good. So we'll see if this helps with any of the traffic flow. Now, just because there's a bigger road here doesn't mean people will prefer it. They always go for shortest distance, but it might help. Actually, it seems to be just generating more traffic over here. We'll see how it goes. We'll have to let the traffic go for a while. Like, all these are people who had an existing route, so we'll just have to wait for traffic to sort of adjust itself. Bigger roads is not the solution to less traffic, but sometimes it is. And especially if I'm building all the way through here, I definitely want, if there's going to be more through traffic, we're going to go ahead and accept the big road. And hope that that just works out for us. Now, the downside, of course, is it does create more traffic lights. Whereas just a bunch of one-way, two-lane streets would not. And you can actually get a lot more traffic flow. There might be too many intersections here. We might actually just want to bridge over one, but at the same time, these are two opposite going one ways, and I think there is actually going to sort of legitimately be a need for both things. I think if we wait, I think some of it may resolve itself. We'll see. This might be a good example of where we'd want to bridge. It's hard to tell. We'll get back to it. Keep hearing bing, 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 lots of upgrades. Our city is growing quickly. It is going to be a city that's always going to have traffic problems just because of the fact that we're not using highways very much. The problem with this city is there's too many bits that are too close and too similar to a real city. Again, I always think of Toronto, where you're constantly having to go from like a 4-lane setup to a place where you've basically got 2 lanes. You've been driving the right lane, and all of a sudden it turns into a parking lane, so you got to move. It's just awful. There's so much weaving that happens in Toronto. It's just miserable. Great city, but I hate to drive in it. At that, so how many? No, that's quite a few passengers, actually. And you can see there's a lot of buses, or a lot of people there. Let's take a look at our infograph for the mass transit. So if we click on one of these, car trip saved, 49%. Not bad. That's all that lane. Car trip saved, 40%. So, I mean, we're definitely minimizing some amount of traffic with our transit system, which is good. How's the finances of it? So, we're making $1,500 from the bus, and we're spending $1,400 on the bus. We'd spend even less if we didn't have the extra depot. But, you know, again, I'll leave it in there, because why not? Still lots of upgrades happening. I don't want to build too much right now, because the city's still sort of adjusting to the latest changes. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it would be correct to eliminate this, or turn into maybe just a one-way. Which wouldn't eliminate the traffic light, but might tune a little bit of traffic better. That is awesomely bad, what these people are doing. Or I could remove this connection, turn into another bridge, but also, we'd have to make sure to allow a route that goes from the south to there. We'll see how it goes. Nowerization. With great power comes great responsibility. Nah. I don't have a metro yet. And obviously, metros are really good at moving people around. Again, I like to sort of delay some of the public transit so that I understand how the traffic goes. Now, unlike most of my cities where I say that the bulk of the traffic is actually industrial traffic, most of this traffic is actually quite a bit of like just residential, just people, which means a metro would benefit it greatly. And it might be time for that. I always try to delay it because I try to force traffic issues early so I can see how the flow is going to be later on. Are you empty yet? You're currently emptying. But we might be past that. See, these are mostly, like, commercial vehicles. And could potentially benefit. Well, I wonder where they're going. So you are coming from here, and you're going to some commercial building. I would like this commercial building to be serviced by the cargo harbor instead, but I guess that's not to be. And that is one of the issues with the fact that my industry is here, and it's trying to deposit to the commercial area way over here. That's what's causing a lot of this cross-traffic. Also, why is everyone stuck in that lane? Why is everyone convinced that is the best lane? What are you going to do? Where are you going? You're going to Multimedia Center over there. But why would you be stuck in there? It's, because you want to be here, isn't it? That's why. So by having this commercial area over here, which wants to be serviced by industry, we're generating a lot of extra traffic. Which we could minimize by having... we could actually have a highway that goes through town. Like, that would actually be a brilliant solution. If there was actually a highway that went from here all the way to here, that would be really good. Also, I think what would potentially help... Well, it doesn't solve this traffic jam, but it helps with some of the traffic, is if we did something like... I mean, it would look better if it came off here. Is that what we want? Yeah, probably. Let's pause. Get rid of this power line. Oh! Incinerators are in the way. I hope I don't have to move both. I probably do. Oh, no, I can technically get it. Oh, it's going to do the stupid bridge, though, unless I sort of put this down first. And then like that. There we go. Less of a stupid-looking bridge. Let's do an upgrade over here, because we're going to be encouraging traffic to flow down this way. And we did need those power lines. Still surprised. Because this because we don't actually have anything going on over here. But there we go. And we'll keep the backup line going over there, since I do have a tendency to bulldoze things all the time. So that's going to encourage more traffic flow over here instead of here, which may or may not be good. You guys are complaining about a lack of educated workers. They'll get there. They'll get schooled. So one thing that might help, and I'm not sure if this is the case, is we might... What the... Did you guys see that boat? Hang on. Yes! That's awesome! Oh, shit! That's great! I'm so happy right now. Oh, man, that's fantastic. What's going to happen when we put some buildings over here? So I was going to say, if we built an industrial area down here to provide some goods, it might help, because they might ship... They will probably prefer to ship their goods here, and we might start to see less people ship from over there. So I think what I'm going to do is get started on that. We're going to build an industrial area. Landship ahoy! Apparently we're building hovercrafts is what's going on here. So... let's make certain plans for the future. What's occupying this space? Ah, a school. Out of my way, school. There you go. Come off like this. Cross this way. And then across like this. Alright, I like that. And I think what we'll do is probably end up with a bridge that goes over here at some point. Right now it's a bridge that goes nowhere. I got a little bit of a bong. Ah yes, Venice with its famous land boats. From Sweater Says. That's true. It's going to be the highlight of our city. So then we're going to bring off some regular roads. Since there's already kind of an intersection here. I think what we'll do is build... maybe on this kind of grid. Figure that out. But then we can connect over that way too. So it's not quite gritty there, but it's still going to allow some good interconnects. We might want to have one-ways in and out over here, which is probably a good idea, because I think there's going to be... another one in over here. Maybe we'll leave this one as a two-way, actually. That might be alright. We'll evaluate the traffic once it gets there. And then we'll keep using two ways. Yeah, that's fine. Something like that. So all this is going to be industry.